Well, hello and welcome, everybody. I want to welcome you to, well, I guess, one, it's a new year. It's also my first webinar of the year. I will be your presenter today. My name is Scott Vinson. I'm an affinity marketing expert. I'm also the founder of a company based in Bellevue, Washington called BenefitIQ. You're going to learn a little bit about me today. I'll be going over why I feel that I'm justified in presenting the material today. I do also want you to know that there are roughly about 857 people logged in right now. We'll probably have a few more attend. I have to keep you in a listen-only mode only because of the background noise that would be associated with over 800 people on the call. I do want you to know that, but I am recording this session today too. I do hope that you come back and revisit the material I'm going to be presenting over the next 60 minutes with you. It is that important to your career, as I will be presenting the 2017 Business Planning Webinar, Creating Max Revenue Leverage for Mortgage Originators and Realtors. I do want to help you in this new year because there's some things that are really happening right in the headlines, and we'll be covering that as well. Now, do also notate here as we begin the housekeeping portion of the webinar that you can download my slide deck. I don't keep my slide deck proprietary. You can actually have it. You can download it. In fact, as I do these webinars quite frequently throughout the year, I do find that people are better at taking notes when they have the actual slide deck to be able to write on. So you'll see that I do have that slide deck posted in the webinar toolbar. To get you familiar with the webinar toolbar, it's that thing that's probably blocking part of your view of my slides. There's a little orange arrow, or a white arrow in an orange box. As you click on that, that will open that up or move it out of the way. You'll see by default there's a spot you can ask questions of me, but you'll also see a section that says handouts. So you'll see the slide deck there. Now, it downloads in a PDF. You might choose to print it in black and white. As my slides today, I have 76 slides for you. They are color heavy. I do plan to keep you quite entertained as we progress through there. But you also can, when you print a PDF document, you can select to print multiple slides on a page. That might conserve a tree or two as we proceed. So if you just joined us, you're in a listen-only mode. I'm recording this session. We're going to get moving right now on the 2017 Business Planning Webinar, Creating Maximum Revenue Leverage for Mortgage Originators and Realtors. Now, just by looking at those that have registered, when I was on the registration list, we had, I think, 1,150 people registered for the webinar, over 800 on right now. It looked as if, just by the email extensions from most people, that about 60% of those in attendance today are in the mortgage origination business. So that means 40% of you are probably realtors. So I will be speaking to both occupations. The one thing that most of you guys have in common, or gals, is that you have to produce deals. If you're not, then that's kind of the end of your business. So we are going to talk about how to produce better deals this year as well. So again, the questions that you can ask are kind of limited to the webinar toolbar by typing them in. You'll also find out that there is an optional conference call phone number. So if the audio is streaming through your computer and some of you have different speeds for your internet, I think on the webinars you can generally call in and you can get a better audio connection once in a while, so you might consider that as well. So presentation. So I did mention that about 60% of you in attendance today are on mortgage side of things, 40% of you on the real estate side of things. But this presentation is designed for the loan officer and realtor who are willing to work hard, who are okay promoting themselves and their business out there in their own community, who want to work with quality clients of their own choosing. I find that a lot of loan officers and realtors, especially through the last couple of years when rates were low, would take anybody who was willing to buy, sell, or refinance a home that could fog a mirror, and that somehow clouded your pipelines with people that were sometimes less than desirable. I'll show you how to up-level who you work with. In fact, if you're here today and you're looking to close more deals in less time for higher quality clients, I have something in store for you. So if you just joined us, you can download my slide deck too as we follow along. I will get you to the point where I'll tell you where it is that you should be starting to take notes. What is it that brings you here? I know that these emails went out. Most of you responded via email or called our office or found us on social media that we were producing this webinar today. So I'm not sure what part of this email resonated. Was it the secret to making your phone ring? Was it that to survive in a post-election higher interest rate economy, you must learn how to create maximum revenue leverage? Or was it the section where it said the #1 strategy you can implement immediately to ensure your phone will ring all year? Or was it that you were looking for a lucrative exit strategy? I think those were all parts of it. Someone said the second section. So I'm thinking that that's probably to survive in this post-election higher interest rate economy, must learn how to create max revenue. Thank you for posting that. Whomever posted that. Carol, thank you so much. Susan said she's here to find out how to generate a steady stream, a more steady stream of clients throughout a higher interest rate economy. So I think that's probably it. I think you see other talking about higher rates. So we will spend a fair amount of time on doing that. Someone said wanting to make more income. Certainly I have something in store for you as well. Today you're going to learn how to create this maximum leverage. I find far too often as I work with mortgage loan officers and realtors across the United States that they don't put the word leverage to work in their own business. In fact, some of you would admit that the last couple of years have been pretty good to you. But sometimes when you start to think about how much money that you have saved because of the last couple of years in a low interest rate economy, you feel like your bank accounts don't match how busy you've been. So to survive in this post-election higher interest rate economy, right, you're here for that. #1 strategy, I think we've covered that. But this bonus, I want to talk to you a little bit about this because this should incent you to stay with me today because at about the 45-minute mark, I'm going to show you as a mortgage loan officer or a realtor, even if you don't own your own business, work for a mortgage banker or a bank or a credit union or a large real estate firm, I'm going to show you the most efficient and effective way that you, even you working for one of those companies, can build a lucrative exit strategy. So it's kind of my bonus today because I know you owe it to yourself to have that at the end of your career. You don't want to lock loans and quote rates or show homes forever. There's something has to be at the end, and right? And I want to show you how to build a lasting business that you could maybe pass on to your children or somebody else who would pay you a residual. So please understand this, all business entails risk. Now I have to do this because I'm doing this over the airwaves of the interweb. I have to post this. I want you to also understand that when I talk about my clients in the next 55 minutes, please know that their results are not typical. They're actually pretty darn exceptional. And to be successful, yes, absolutely, you have to work your ass off. So I'm going to be teaching you some techniques today that aren't get-rich-quick schemes. I don't think anything like that exists. I know that there are lead companies out there trying to sell internet leads that, oh yeah, this is the fastest way to grow your business. It's not. Those are one-and-done type things. To be truly successful in the business of mortgage or real estate, you have to work hard at it. I want you to also know that I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. So if I use an off-color comment or if some of my numbers don't resonate or jibe, I'm not an accountant or a lawyer, so don't blame me. You can comment and say, Scott, that's wrong, and I'm happy to address it with you. And let's talk about me for just a minute. My name is Scott Vinson. I'm a 26-year industry veteran, kind of grew up in the mortgage side of the business, but the last 15 years is probably where my career went a little bit different than yours. In the last 15 years of my career from my hometown here of Bellevue, Washington, a suburb of the Seattle area, I learned how to work with businesses, unions, school districts, clubs, associations, neighborhoods, homeowner associations, condo associations, and work to become the preferred provider of real estate assistance programs to those groups. That's called affinity marketing. And in 2004, I launched a company that actually coaches and teaches loan officers and realtors on how to do that exact same thing, on how to become the preferred lender or realtor to businesses, unions, school districts, homeowners associations, condo associations, unions, school districts. And I founded a company called BenefitIQ, and also we produce a program, a ready-made mortgage and real estate assistance program that can be installed by any loan officer or realtor across America called the HomeBenefitIQ program. In fact, that program, through people like you, it's become the fastest growing voluntary benefit in America, and we've successfully helped facilitate 3,750 what we'll call corporate and mortgage real estate assistance programs. So you'll learn more about that. I know some of that's probably going to sound foreign to you right now. That's okay. I just wanted you to know that I'm here. I'm credible. I grew up doing mortgages. I've worked with hundreds of top producing realtors, both professionally in the mortgage business and as a coach to them too. So I just want you to know that. I know that the pressing news that's in our daily newspapers and all over the internet should be a little bit of concern to you. Fed's lacquer says rates may rise faster under Trump's presidency. New political era for U.S. economy, right? Forecasters say that could boost economic growth and bring higher interest rates. We're already seeing that. The National Association of Mortgage Bankers' June 2016 report predicts that 61% of all mortgages that are going to be written by June of 2017 will be for purchase. So if you're a loan officer learning how to generate business from realtors, I'm going to give you a secret today. Hey, it's faster to grow your business by finding consumers who are looking to list their home before they get to the realtor. Then you can leverage that with the realtor community. In fact, this report should be very, very important because there's a lot of loan officers that if I were to interview you today would probably openly admit that your business is kind of inverse of where it's headed, meaning that 61% of most of the mortgages you've written probably in the last 2 years, because rates have been at 3 and 4%, probably have been for refi or refinance. It's going to change, and it's going to change very quickly. This report is pretty darn important as a tell-all. As we saw interest rates go over 4% in the last 30 days, right? That tell-all shouldn't be too concerning. I see it as a phenomenal opportunity, and here's why. There's reasons for people right now in our economy to sell their home. Rising interest rates. There's incredibly low inventory. The realtors that are on this call, you're out there probably telling consumers, hey, get your home on the market now because your home will be seen, because there aren't a lot of homes on the market. And so that's also giving the consumer self-imposed pressure. This is also the time of the year, right? A post-election economy, companies will begin to hire again. And that also means that people who don't own or are looking to move up or move down are looking to buy. So because of rising interest rates, because of increasing inventory, right, we'll start to see that happen. Seasonal pressure, right, the winter months and coming out of the winter months, usually there's a peak in it. And then when there's more inventory, sellers will also get more aggressive. So why am I sharing this with you today? Right? When you put the combination that the National Mortgage Bankers Association is predicting that 61% of all mortgages by June of this year will be for purchase, that's telling me that as a loan officer, you need to be able to get out there and get in front of consumers when consumers first start thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing their home. So one of the challenges that loan officers and realtors have these days is that not enough people in your community know who you are, and they don't know what you do for a living. You see, the more people that know you and what you do for a living, the better you have, or better chance you're going to have to earn their business. But it is a challenge, and to survive in this post-election economy, all loan officers and realtors have to learn how to create maximum revenue leverage. So when you're looking at how to create leverage and get your name out there in the community, there's only really 3 ways to prospect for new business. Some loan officers and realtors buy it in the form of leads from, Bankrate or Zillow or Costco. You can wait for it. Now I call a buy referral strategy a wait for it strategy. You know what I mean. You hand out a bunch of your business cards, and on those business cards maybe you still have that statement that says the best compliment you can give me is that of a referral. Or you knock on the door of a few referral type partners expecting that they're going to refer you, but then they never remember you, and maybe once this year they're going to refer you. That's kind of the wait for it. I call it the hope strategy. Or you send a bunch of anniversary cards from the date you close the transaction to your customer, and you ask them again to refer you. Or you send a birthday card to your past client, and let's talk about this one. The present that you give them in the birthday card is 5 of your business cards saying, please refer me, happy birthday, right? It's kind of the wait for it strategy. But the top producers in the United States know exactly where their next 10 deals are going to come from, and they know exactly when they're going to get them, and they also know exactly the credit quality, the income quality in which they're going to get. So I want to help you do that today, because the old way of getting business for you, and we're going to call it the old pre-election economy for mortgage loan officers and realtors, it was this. You would find somebody who needed to borrow, buy, or sell a home. You would close that deal for them, earn a commission, and then you earn the right to ask for a referral. You stay in contact with that original client, and maybe they use you again, and then you earn the chance to get another referral. See? And sometimes, some of you, that's not enough business for you, so you have to augment that by throwing in a potential referral partner into the mix and asking them to refer you and then stay in contact and get another referral. But when you start to look at the traditional ways that loan officers and realtors, when you first got into this business, this is probably what your bosses taught you. Hey, go out and find somebody that needs a deal and ask for referrals. It's a slow and tedious way to grow any sort of meaningful database. Let me prove it to you. Now, my company does these national webinars, and over the last year, we had 33,800 polls that were given to loan officers and realtors. We had over 11,000 respondents, and we asked this question. It says, what is your primary strategy for getting in front of new quality clients? And 75% of those 11,000 plus respondents, mortgage loan officers and realtors, your peers, said that they were referring primarily on word-of-mouth marketing or by referral marketing to get their business. Now, that's something that probably resonates with you because you're probably getting most of your business by referral. Only 10% were consumer direct, 3% were claiming that social media was giving them their primary leads, 7% were purchasing leads from the internet in some form or matter, right? And the rest, I think, were trying to drive traffic organically to themselves, either through websites or other things. But look at this one. Our next question was, how satisfied are you with your current level of production? Of those 11,800, only 2% said they were satisfied with their production from it. Only 2%. You add up these two bottom buckets, that's 98%, folks. 69% said they were dissatisfied, but they knew they were capable of doing more. And 29%, and remember, this was in a rate environment, sub 4%, said they needed help. They were barely staying afloat. So what does that tell you? Probably it tells me this, right? 95% of all real estate agents and mortgage professionals never make any more money than it takes to break even. So why is that? And let's think about it for just a minute. You're here today because you're wanting some ways to make your phone ring all year long in a higher interest rate environment. You're wanting here to learn how to create leverage in your business so that you can work smarter, not harder, and close more deals and do it in less time. Some of you are here because you want to see the strategy that other top producers are doing to keep their pipelines filled with qualified buyers, borrowers, and sellers, right? Well, the methods that you're probably relying upon to get your clients aren't getting you to the client first. This data, or this statistic, came from the internet. It says 66% of all home sellers interview one agent. Probably the same holds true for the loan officer, so it does pay to be the first loan officer, the first realtor to the consumer. Now, how do you get to the consumer when a consumer first starts thinking about buying, selling, or financing a home? It's not the internet. 97% of consumers start their search for a loan or a realtor on the web, but it's startling when you look at how many actually close with the loan officer or the realtor that they find on the internet. Now, according to NAR's annual studies, and they send out hundreds of thousands of surveys to homeowners and people that have done transactions, and they ask them, how did you choose the realtor or the loan officer that you used on that transaction? Only 13% of consumers said that they used the person they found on the internet. 18% of consumers said that they used somebody that they had used previously. 7% said that they found their mortgage service provider or their real estate provider, their realtor or loan officer, because they received some sort of mail or other media. And then 18% said other, consumer direct, meaning that they were phone called, cold called, ran into somebody, met somebody new, walked into their office. But 44% of consumers report that they use the loan officer or realtor based upon the advice of somebody that they trust in their life, a peer recommendation. So I want to help you this year get more of this piece of the puzzle. You see, some of you have focused on this, but I'm going to tell you I've had countless calls or run-ins with consumers, like my neighbor, for example. I had a conversation with him a couple of weeks ago. His name is Jason. He works for the U.S. Post Office. He's a letter carrier. He's been working for them for 21 years. And I was talking to him. He goes, Scott, you're still in the mortgage business. I used an adaptation of that. I said, no, I set up real estate benefit programs now for employers. He goes, wow. And he goes, what are rates now? And I told him that they're right around 4%. He goes, thank God, I have a 3.25% rate, and that's the last loan, and it's the last home we'll probably ever own. See, I would hate to be their loan officer or their realtor. I would hate to be their loan officer or their realtor. You know why? Because they're never probably going to buy another home. If they do, they're going to move to Arizona. Remember, I'm in Seattle. They'd probably escape this cold weather. And they're not going to need another loan because his focus is on paying off that mortgage because they're at a rate that's close to 3%. 3%. So I want to help you get to consumers before they get to the internet and start to shop. How can we do that? Now, don't laugh at my slide deck here. I do my own graphics. I have a daughter now. She's 19, and when I first started to introduce this slide a few years ago, she was in taking her first health classes, I think, as her freshman year in high school. She laughed at me. She said, "Dad, that looks like a reproductive chart." Well, okay. Laughs aside, bear with me for a minute. That's my path or stream that consumers go down when they first start thinking about buying and selling homes. Now, you hope that these people here will become your client, but the problem is you're kind of waiting for them to fall in your lap. Most of you are waiting for the referral. But it's likely that the referral source that's sending them to you isn't just sending them to you. They're probably sending them somewhere else, and they're probably validating whether or not the information that they're receiving is right. So they're getting to another one of your competitors through the internet. And see, what happens is you get a little nibble at them, you get a little bite at them, and then they come over here. And they try to validate whether the information you're telling them is correct or not. And they get another bite. They get another bite taken over here by the credit union or the bank or the real estate firm who's got another in-house lender. But what happens is when they swim back around to do the deal with you, there's not a lot of meat left on the bone, right? And so unless you have the sharpest pencil or the lowest rates or the lowest fees or the biggest promises to get deals done quickly, right, you really don't get that many consumers. And that's, again, why your pipelines all of a sudden look big, but there's only a few deals closing. And the reason is because you're not getting to consumers quickly enough. I want to help you drop a drift net across this stream in which consumers swim down. Now, how do you move upstream and capture consumers at this point? The only way I know how to do it is to start getting you into the mindset of thinking that where do consumers spend their primary hours? Where do they spend their waking hours? Right? Most consumers are spending 40 and 50 hours a week where? Usually at work, right? So we're going to start opening your eyes to this world of what we call workplace marketing. It's the ability for you to become their preferred lender, their preferred realtor through the places in which they're spending most of their time. And through the benefits packages that these workplaces offer to these consumers, if their employer is going to tell them to use you and only you for their next mortgage or real estate transaction, or if they need to sell their home, think about this one. This is leverage. If that consumer needs to sell a home and you're a loan officer, you want them first. You know why? Because you can turn around and generate more business because you can leverage that. It's a listing lead, and realtors are dying for listing leads right now. They don't want buyers. They want listings. So that will help you become more attractive to not only consumers but realtors as well. And if you doubt this, think about this. 51% of working Americans obtain the majority of their financial advice from their workplace, and that's a growing number. I think it's expected to go over 60% this year. Now, why is mortgage and real estate being thrown in there? Let me tell you why. Medical, dental, and 401k are usually the primary benefits employers offer employees. But the fastest growing voluntary benefit in America right now is mortgage and real estate. And if you miss this, what's going to happen is that you're going to start to get phone calls maybe later this year from your past clients who said, hey, thanks for sending these birthday cards, but I don't think I'm going to need you again. I just was able to secure a great mortgage on a great home, and I got a deal through my employer. See, I don't want you to miss that out. I don't want you to miss that. Now's the time for you to start to open your eyes to this because it's time for you to change. Now let's talk about a new way for you to go out and find clients that don't rely upon you waiting for your phone to ring with a referral. And it has to do with this word leverage. Now this is the Wikipedia dictionary's definition here as a verb. It says use something to maximum advantage. And it's used in a sentence. The organization needs to leverage its key resources. So you as a loan officer, you as a realtor, usually you're not leveraging. You're just working harder and harder. And as rates go up, you're going to find yourself, if you continue doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten, or maybe even less. It's going to get tougher and tougher. I want you to start thinking like big sales organizations think. And I'm talking about IBMs. I'm talking about Caterpillar. I'm talking about some of these big sales companies out there like Microsoft. When they start to build products or services, they think about who it is or whom it is that they're going to serve. You in mortgage don't. So this is where, if I were you, I would lean in, start listening, get out a notepad, start writing notes, or download my slide deck so you can write notes on here, because in this new post-election economy with higher rates, you need to think about who your ideal client is. So on your sheet of paper, I want you to write down a few things. The first one is, what does your ideal client look like as far as credit scores go? Now, I know, because I was in the mortgage lending business for 26 years, that my average credit score client, I would love to work with people that had upwards of 800 credit scores. Yeah, maybe 810. That would be nice. Couldn't I get them the best deal? Yeah, absolutely. So write down on there what you want your ideal client to have as far as credit score. Now, what do you want your ideal client to have as far as income? Income. I would want my ideal client to probably be earning upwards of $150,000 a year. My ideal client. Do you know why? Because somebody that's an ideal client is going to have what your next line I'm going to have you write down is. I want you to write down what size of home or what size of loan do you want your ideal consumer to be taking out or purchasing or selling? Is it $800,000? Is it $400,000? Is it $1 million? See, that's what big businesses who are in the sales industry, they think about their consumer first, and then they build products or services that will help those people. See, loan officers and realtors have it backwards. They have it backwards. You'll take anybody that fogs a mirror, and then you try to place them into a product. Here, I'm going to teach you to find those people, because once you start to write down the credit scores, the income levels, what kind of homes those people are size of homes those people are buying, selling, or refinancing, and then what kind of properties are they? Are they lakefront, waterfront, view properties, golf course properties? Where is it that those people are going to be purchasing their homes primarily? Because step two, if you want to work with better clients and make bigger profits, you better pay attention to this, especially in this economy. You just need to identify, if you want more of those ideal clients, the second step is simple. You just have to identify where that type of person who fits that demographic spends the majority of their time. Where does your ideal client spend the majority of their time? And then step three becomes really simple when you have done what I've done and can teach what I have. So you just have to be able to formulate a way to get in front of more of those people. So you think about your ideal client. Think about dentists. I'm going to talk about dentists for a minute. The average income of a dentist nationally is $315,000 a year. Now, I'm in Seattle, Washington, and there is an association here in Seattle called the King County Dental Society, which has 1,400 members, 1,400 dentists, hygienists, specialists in the dental industry belong to that group, 1,400 of them. Now, do they offer their people any form of mortgage or real estate assistance for being a dues-paying member of their association? Well, yeah, absolutely. Do they offer a mortgage or real estate program? Yes. Should something like that be yours in your marketplace? Yes. See, you would start to generate more deals because you've now gotten to them at the source. Think about the doctors, the nurses. Do you know there's a nurses association that's devoted to all the registered nurses? I think the average income for a registered nurse nationally is something like $72,000. Would those be the types of clients that you want to serve? Many of them are two-income households. They're probably more aware of their credit when you start to think about that. They have easy to verify income because they have lots of overtime that can be proven. They have pay stubs and W-2s. They also are good savers. They have down payments. If they're a homeowner, they generally have paid down their home, so they actually have equity. So if you're doing a deal for them, that's not a concern. So you see where I'm going with this? You, to get better at your jobs, need to work this way. Identify your ideal client, write that down, who they are, figure out where those people spend the majority of their time, and then you have to have a way to get in front of those people in a professional, efficient, and economical manner, and that's where I'm going to spend the rest of my time today. And it's very simple. You see, there is a system for you to get in front of better quality clients and not have to wait for referrals. Our system's called HomeBenefitIQ. Now, don't worry, this isn't where I'm going to sell you. That's going to be at the very end, and I'll be honest with you. I'm going to make you an offer to license this HomeBenefitIQ program from us. But before we get to that point, I want to teach you some things you can take away today. You see, there is a hospital down the street from me. It's called Overlake Hospital. Now, it doesn't employ 2,450 employees. It employs 8,000. You know how I know that? I called them. I called the person who answered the phone, a receptionist, and I said, my name is Scott, and I have a quick question. I hope you can help me today. The receptionist was very nice. She said, sure, what can I do for you? And then I asked this simple question. You want to write this down because you can do the same thing this afternoon. I said, if you were to make a proposal for a new benefit program for the employees at Overlake Hospital, who would you send that information to? Where would you go? And then I zipped my lip and I waited. I heard the keys on her keyboard click, click, click. And then within about, it was probably awkward 45 seconds. It seemed like forever. See, I didn't want to try to answer my question when I asked it. I let this person answer it. She said, well, that would be probably somebody in our human resources department. I said, well, if you were me and you wanted to get to the right person, which one of those people would it be? And I waited, and it was awkward. And she looked at the list, I'm assuming, and then she came back and she said, well, it would probably be our director of human resources. And I said, well, can you tell me the person's name? She did. I wrote it down. I said, what's their title? She gave it to me. I said, so that I don't have to bother you when I call them back, do they have a direct dial extension that I can reach? And she gave me an extension. And I said, I do things 100% permission-based. I would like to send that person an email to introduce myself instead of being rude and just calling them. Would it be okay if I were to do that? I'd have to get their email address, though. And she gave me the email address. I said, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Oh, by the way, how many employees does the Overlake Hospital employ? She said, we have roughly about 8,000 employees. I said, are there part-time employees too? She said, yeah. So she knew this information. I said, thanks so much. Okay, I'm going to tell you in a few minutes what that one phone call would be worth if you made that phone call and were able to get that appointment. See, you guys have opportunities right now. You're inches away from the mother lode of gold. Loan officers, you have a cheat sheet in your files. You know exactly where your borrowers and your co-borrowers work. If you've never turned your borrowers and your co-borrowers into a business that looks like this, where you've landed the full relationship with the hospital, and its 2,450 employees are being told to use you and only you for their next mortgage, and you're generating 30 to 50 closed deals per year of good credit quality from that one business, see, that's what I call affinity marketing or signing up corporate accounts. And you have the ability to do this. Probably what's kept you out of this business and doing this is you just don't know how, or you don't know what to say, or you're afraid of what that hospital might say to you. Maybe your cousin, your uncle, your significant other goes to work every day at an engineering firm. Have you ever become the preferred provider for mortgage services with their 148 coworkers? Probably not. You've probably given your cousin, your uncle, your significant other 5 or 10 business cards from time to time. Hey, can you hand these out at the water cooler, at the coffee maker when you hear people talking about it? And you might have gotten a deal. But until you've really worked with their human resource departments or their benefit managers and provided mortgage as a voluntary benefit with benefit ID cards and lunchroom posters, you haven't really fully baked it. It's easy. And maybe it's just a small optical center. Maybe you pass the optical center on the first floor of your office building. If you haven't experienced those employees from that optical center getting off on the elevator, coming into your office and asking you, hey, Madison, at Parley Mortgage, I see that you're our mortgage benefit provider on our employee benefit page. What are rates today? We're thinking about selling our home on the west side of town. We'd like to move closer to work. Can you help us? See, if you've never experienced that, you're missing out. So those files that are going to be collecting dust for the next few years, because those people that are in those files are at 3 and 4%, you can actually blow the dust off and start calling your clients and asking them, hey, Joe, thanks for closing your deal with me in April. I remember that you work at that software company downtown. How many people work there? And see, if you use the scripting like I told you I used at Overlake Hospital, hey, if you were to make a proposal for a new benefit program for XYZ software, Joe, who would you send that to? Where would you go? And see, your client would tell you. Why would they not? So tell me this. Would you rather make one phone call to your past client, thank them for doing business, and ask them if they know anybody that needs to buy, sell, or finance a home? And then you're done. That's a one call and done. Or would you rather call your client, thank them for doing business, and then ask them a few questions about their workplace, see if you can get an introduction to their HR or their benefits manager or their CEO that could turn into a fruitful relationship? You see, if you only did that 4 times this year, and you were able to establish 4 corporate accounts, when you start to add this up, this becomes the icing on your cake. You can still do your business like you normally have done your business, but these become your consistent referral sources, and you don't have to rely upon referral partners at all, because these businesses expect nothing in return. They don't expect leads in return. They don't expect reciprocal business. They're not a pain in the ass when you can't get a deal done, right? They're going to go off to some other company. No. If you set it up right, and we're going to be talking about that here in the next few minutes, this number one strategy Intelligent Originators and Realtors are using to attract new quality clients, it just takes you guys to adapt your referral asking script. And so write these notes down. I'm going to give it to you. When you call your clients or close the deal or take their application, or as a realtor you're taking maybe a potential listing presentation, you ask them, hey, can I ask you why you're not using the mortgage or real estate benefits program your employer provides to you? Does your company offer you a real estate assistance program? Okay. See, you don't run the risk of losing the deal, because 99.9% of your clients won't even know what the hell that might mean. I don't think so. Well, great. Well, let me see if I can qualify you for one of my programs. That's what you tell them. How many people work at your firm? Oh, 500. See, this is where the real opportunity comes. I would give away 50 referrals of individual consumers for one referral into a 500-person workplace. You know why? Because if you established yourself and it was the right type of employer that employed the right kind of employee who was earning the right kind of money, who probably had the right credit profile, your life would become easier, because the workplace would be advertising and promoting your services as a benefit to its people. And not only is it a benefit to its people that work there, it's a voluntary benefit. It gets extended to friends and family. You see, you increase the lifetime of your client, the value of your client, tenfold when you do business this way. And that's what leverage is about, folks. So to introduce yourself differently, and you just do a subtle switch tonight. When somebody asks you, right, hey, Maria, are you still working at Jim Mortgage? How's mortgage rates? I want you to say, yes, I'm still a great mortgage loan officer, but I'm setting up real estate assistance programs now. In fact, I'm going through training to become a corporate lender. I work with businesses, unions, and school districts and provide resources of mortgage and real estate so that the employee can get a better deal when they buy, sell, and refinance their homes. Does your company have something like that? You see how powerful this is, guys and gals? It's about doors of opportunity. It's about creating leverage. In a higher rate environment, you're going to need it because you need maximum exposure to consumers. You can't do that through radio ads. You can't do that through television ads. You can't do that through direct mailing. You can't do that by pounding on the door of one more referral partner. No, not at all. These businesses become your referral lead source. So just throw the word corporate in front of your title when you say something to somebody. Don't change your business cards, because your compliance officers would hate me. You can't do that, right? You're an NMLS licensed loan officer, or you're a realtor. That's fine. It's more important, though, what you say when you hand somebody your business card, right? I'm Leanne. I'm with Embrace Home Loans, but I'm also a corporate trained lender. I work with businesses, unions, and school districts and provide real estate assistance programs to their employees. Does your company have one? See, you're starting to see how powerful that is. So try it tonight. Try it this afternoon. Call a past client. Or run it past them. Success leaves clues. There are businesses right next door to you where you're missing huge opportunities. Now, I coach this gentleman. His name is Gilbert. He's in the San Diego marketplace. He's a mortgage loan officer. This the building in which his office is in, he's been there for 5 years. 5 years, finally one day it dawned on him, oh my gosh, there's a law firm downstairs. It's a 250 employee law firm. They occupy most of the first floor. That's what he told me. I said, Gilbert, go and ask them if they provide their employees any form of real estate assistance programs as part of the benefit package when they work there. He did. They liked what he had to say. In fact, that meeting that he had, the first meeting he had with a law firm, he was able to gain 2 transactions just because of the conversation that he had, because the person who was the office manager said, I need to talk to you. They were going through the process of purchasing a home. So we got that deal, and then after that deal was closed, they said, well, my assistant is also looking to purchase their first home. Can you help them too? So he made almost $9,000 prior to officially launching his mortgage services as a benefit to the firm. But what's happened since is pretty key. Since then, the law firm not only has allowed him to become the preferred lender to all 250 employees, he's had people come up off the elevator, come into his office and say, hey, Gilbert, I know you're part of our benefits package. What can you put together for me? We're looking to do, sell, buy, finance. The law firms also agreed to recommend this program that Gilbert offers to a few of their business clienteles. And they have clienteles that have owned companies, large companies. He got a lead from his one of the attorneys there, who is the corporate attorney for a large tech firm that has 3,200 employees, 3,200 employees. See, that's the power of leverage. Now, don't laugh. This is not Donna's actual client. I should probably post that on the picture. Donna is another loan officer that I coach. After closing a purchase loan, she asked her client, her past client, for a different kind of referral, right? And you guys are guilty of this. Hey, Joe, thanks for letting me close on that home loan for you. Hey, if you have anybody in mind that you need that knows that need to buy or sell or finance, send them my way. One and done. Donna went differently. She said, tell me a little bit about your software company in which you work for. How big is it? Her client said, well, I think we're somewhere between 350, maybe 400 employees. We're growing. We're actually looking at purchasing another company and merging. So she landed this company just by asking. Because her past client, when she said, if you were to make a proposal for a new benefit program at your software company, who would you send that to? Where would you go? And her client told her exactly who he would talk to. In fact, he agreed to have lunch with Donna. Donna went, met him for lunch. They came back after lunch. Her client walked her down the hallway, opened up this office door. There were 4 people working in there. And she was introduced to all 4 people who actually run payroll, human resources, benefit manager, office manager. She had a 5-minute conversation with him, said, I provide a real estate assistance programs. I help people like, right, her client, but I can also help the rest of your staff. And then she was able to show them how she could do it with benefit ID cards, lunchroom posters, payroll handouts, intranet links, and banner links. I'll talk to you about those in just a minute. But for her, in her first 60 days, in launching this, she generated 11 loan applications. She did a benefit launch. They actually gathered a good portion of the employees for a benefit fair where they had their other benefit providers in. Right? Near the end of 2016, she was in there, and in the month of October, where open enrollment's happening, she took 11 loan applications in her first 60 days, $4.2 million of business. Sue Wall is another one of my coaching clients in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's a realtor. Cincy Public School District is one of her corporate accounts. It's a 6,600-person school district. Now, for Sue, did she know a teacher that got her in? No. She just called the school and said, hey, I don't see on your website that you're currently providing your teachers any form of real estate assistance programs. Can we meet for 15 minutes and I can show you how our free voluntary benefit would help make better employees, help move your teachers closer to work? Because she read on the internet that the school district was hiring over 200 teachers from out of district. Now, she participated in the new teacher orientation in August of this past year. That new teacher orientation was a half day. She was invited to speak for 5 minutes in front of all those teachers and say, I'm here as your corporate realtor. I will help you if you're looking to move closer to the school in which you just landed this contract. I can help you. generated 17 new prospects in less than her first 2.5 hours while she was there. 17 for her. Now in her marketplace, right, that's a considerable amount of money. She's a realtor. She makes about $8,000 a deal, right? You can start to do the math. For her, that was about $100,000 of business in 2.5 hours. Some of you, that would double your production. Now here's Steven. He's a loan officer that I coach. He's a cyclist, a spandex wearing bike guy. He told me for years he'd been part of this cycling club of 90 people. For years he'd try to, subtly drop the hint, hey, I'm in mortgage. If you hear of anybody buying, selling, financing a home, send it my way. He'd only gotten 1 or 2 referrals. But when he went to the club president and said, I have a program. It's called HomeBenefitIQ. I serve it to clubs like yours. How could we install this program so that all the members are told to use this program as part of the membership benefits? The president loved it. So for him, once that announcement was done, last year in 2016, $6.5 million in loan volume. But the cool thing that happens because of this, again, it's leverage. Not only did he get numerous referrals from friends and family then from these club members, but the cool thing is that a lot of these people that were in the cycling community were 35 to 55 years old, who were living in homes in his area were $700,000 or more. Some of the club members were also senior managers for tech firms, law firms. So it got him in front of better and better clients. Here's Susan, Alumni Association. Now Susan works for a bank that's federally chartered, so she can close deals in all 50 states. And the beautiful thing about what I'm teaching you right now is that when you learn to do this, you can take your business as big as you want or keep it as small as you want. It's like the volume on the radio. You pick the right employer, you know the exact numbers of transactions that you're going to want to get out of there and what to do to exactly get them, right? But if you don't want to go big, like Susan's going really big, it's an 11,000 person Alumni Association. She's authoring a column in their featured newsletter monthly. She's called the Mortgage Professor, self-proclaimed mortgage professor. For her, through the first or third quarter of 2016, she closed 27 transactions, and she didn't spend $1 on it because the Alumni Association was looking for content to put in their newsletter. She just volunteered to author a column. They love it. They love it. And what they've invited her to do is participate in regional events where they're gathering a bunch of these people. See, that's what leverage is about. So I want to ask you this. Which do you choose? The old way, asking for one referral at a time, or do you learn how to do things differently this year? It's not tough. It's just a subtle adaptation of how you ask, but it is creating the leverage that you guys need, and that's what you need in this new environment. Employers, school districts, associations, unions, homeowner associations, condo associations, all those that I just mentioned provide benefits to their people. Most of those that I mentioned have never heard of mortgage or real estate being an assistance program, so it takes you to go in and educate them a little bit. So once you're able to do that, though, and explain it, within 90 days, there's no reason that your business in the first 90 days of this year wouldn't look exactly like this, where you have the relationship with the hospital that's giving you 30 to 50 deals this year, even in an up-rate environment. You have a relationship with that engineering firm where your significant other goes to work every day, and that's generating you an extra deal per month. And the optical center, that might be a deal every other month, but that's a deal more every other month than you have right now. Or that software company where your past client works at, where you didn't even scratch the surface of getting the real referrals out of it, maybe that's giving you an extra 2 deals per month. See, I don't know what your numbers are. I don't. Some of you are coming from different walks of life and doing different things. On the webinar toolbar, there's a form. I call it the Valuator form, and you can download it at hbiqvaluator.com. hbiqvaluator.com. Now, I'm a big believer in justification and showing you the numbers. I do want you to know that the numbers that are here don't lie. And I'll see if I can pull up this document. I didn't have it pulled up beforehand. Let me switch over. You're going to see my screen change because I don't want you to go and download it right now. Let me explain it to you. Most of you know how to work within Excel spreadsheets. I tried to make this as easy as possible, but I want to show you the power of this. I know everybody that's on this call probably knows enough people to make you a millionaire 2 or 3 times over. I call that the power of who you already know. You don't have to go and cold call businesses because you probably know at least one person that works at a company that has 500 employees, right? And if you propose a new benefit program and they said yes to you, that means 63% of those 500 employees are likely going to be homeowners because that's the national home ownership rate. That's 315 homeowners that you're now in front of because this one employer met with you and they agreed to provide your information out to their 500 employees. Now, according to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's annual usage reports, once every 5 years, a consumer does something with a loan officer. That's 63 opportunities with these homeowners, 63. If you only captured 35% of those employees who needed a mortgage, that's 22 more transactions than you have today. Now, I know if you close 22, you're going to get a few referrals from those 22 because you're still going to ask for referrals. But if that were the right type of employer, maybe they're employing people that are purchasing homes or taking out loans at $450,000, right? Picking the right employer is key. And maybe you're making a point on those deals. Now you see, having one conversation with the past client might be worth an extra $100,000 for you this year. Now, I know that some of you are pessimists. I don't lock this down. In fact, you can come in here and change these variables. If you only captured 10% of those employees, that's $31,000 to $32,000 more than you have now. But if that's not enough business for you, and you can master this and do it once, you go out and set up 5 more companies if you want $159,000 to be your income this next year. Or you work harder by providing benefit ID cards and lunchroom posters and maybe teaching a once every quarter lunch and learn for those employees on how to buy, how to sell, how to finance homes. Maybe your capture rate starts to go up to that 35%. Now, I coach a lot of loan officers who do this, who are reporting to me they're getting some capture rates upwards of 50%. In fact, I have one loan officer that captured 90% of all the employees' business from an engineering firm last year because he did a poll, he did a survey with the employees and asked them, hey, if you did a deal last year, did you use the benefit program your employer provides? 90% said yes. But there's your key to $500,000 of extra income, 5 employers, 500 employees. Now, realtors, this is where you need to start getting greedy. If you were the preferred realtor for 5 businesses, 500 employees, 225 transactions are your potential capture. This doesn't take into account, these are homeowners, according to NAR, once every 7 years a homeowner does something with a realtor. Usually it would be 2 transactions, but I'm going to keep it at 1. That's 79 transactions at a 35% capture rate. And if the transaction size, because of the demographic of the employer, we're approaching 500 grand, think about that. Right? Realtors, this is why I say you get greedy. There's your ticket to $1 million in the business. There are a lot of coaches out there. There are a lot of firms out there trying to get your money and sell you leads or tell you to call more and do more. Call more by owners. Call more just listed. Call more expireds. Wouldn't it be more beneficial to make 5 phone calls to 5 local businesses and score 5 corporate accounts? There's your ticket to $1 million earner. So that's kind of my gift for you. Now do me a favor. On the webinar toolbar is that document. It's an Excel spreadsheet. Download it. But I want you to share it with your spouse or your significant other or your sales manager or your broker or your owner. Show them what you're thinking about doing this year. But likely their reaction, I had one of my clients, he said, Scott, I showed that to my spouse, and my spouse said, why the hell haven't you been doing this since the beginning of your career? You'd probably be retired by now. And it's true. Successful agents can't be wrong. Here's Shelly. Prospecting made simple in my first 2 weeks. She made 5 listing presentations, met with 3 quality home buyers, all from her husband's place of work. Here's Robert. Never could imagine becoming the preferred agent for my subdivision of 300 homes. Yeah, the same thing would work for a homeowners association. If you don't ask, you don't get. Robert asked. The homeowner association loved it. His proposal to the homeowners association we helped him put together claimed that he knew the ins and outs of getting deals done and getting top dollar for homes in his own community. They loved it. Reload. See, you think some employers would equate this to reload? No, most employers in America don't even offer reload because they don't have some exotic location in some other location like Oklahoma that they're shipping their employees from Los Angeles to Oklahoma and they're paying their reload. No, most employers don't even have reload. But the other thing is that even if they did, 99.9% of the employees are excluded from reload. You're going to propose your service as a local benefit, for the employee who's just looking to move locally across town or closer to work. So the strategy, you might call it B2B marketing. I call it affinity marketing. Some people have called it a real estate benefit program or a mortgage benefit plan. I call it workplace marketing because I'm teaching you how to workplace market. Our system's called HomeBenefitIQ. I hope that you learn about it today and that you're willing to license it from us, take it out in your marketplace as if it's your own, and apply it to these businesses. I don't employ you. I don't change your commission structure. I'm going to not teach you to discount because your leading value to these employers is the value of you. It's your education. It's the assistance. It's the comparisons that you can give the consumer. It's saving the consumer time. But let me give you 3 primary reasons top producers are using this strategy. Besides leverage, right? The leverage is going to be the overarching theme. It's going to give you a passive way to generate prospects, a passive way. Because once you're into these employers, there are things you can do in 5 minutes a month, like a newsletter, and we produce that for you too, that would drip your information to all 3,000, 5,000, 20,000 employees. Best use of time and money? Absolutely. And it's going to get you to the consumer first. Now, if you doubt that employees pay attention to benefits, think about it. Employers use benefits to recruit with. Employers use benefits to retain. Employers use benefits to their advantage. Employees actually choose work because of good benefits. Now, if the employer could use your program to move employees closer to work, they're going to be achieving something pretty key. Because employees that are moving closer to work, owning homes, are less likely to skip work, hop jobs, and call in sick for unexplained reasons. Here's Joe and Ann, a couple of realtors I work with in the Sacramento marketplace. Scott, believe in workplace marketing is going to take us to incredible heights. We're your biggest fans. Here's Diane, Florida. Great training. Appreciate it. Very impressed in the program. Great so far. Linda, thank you. So excited about this. Be talking about it in my mastermind group. See, we set up mastermind groups for you to practice with other people. Setting this program up to serve my entire chamber. There's 2 realtors. We're ready for success. We're already successful. This is the only way that they have to create long-term, predictable book of business. Gets them closer to the consumer to become the trusted advisor? Sure, that's leverage. So what's the biggest decision that you as a loan officer, you as a realtor have to make this year? It's how you're going to go out and source new quality clients. You call it prospecting. You might call it lead generation. 95% of all real estate agents and mortgage professionals never make any more money than it takes to break even because they're relying upon word-of-mouth marketing. And when rates now have gone over 4%, word-of-mouth marketing doesn't work as good anymore. You're inches away. I told you, loan officers, the 1003 is your cheat sheet. The Fannie Mae 1003 tells you exactly where your borrower and your co-borrower works. Realtors on this call, you're going to have to work a little bit harder at it. Hey, I'm always interested in what my clients do for a living. Where do you work? Oh, the hospital. How many employees work there? Oh, 2,450. Well, fabulous. I offer a real estate assistance program called HomeBenefitIQ. It would help the employees at the hospital make better decisions when they buy, sell, or finance homes. We install it much like a regular benefit with benefit ID cards, lunchroom posters, virtual benefit launches, payroll handouts. We have a dedicated real estate assistance benefit website that's branded for your workplace that could be connected to your employer's intranet where you're logging in to see your benefits. Then we would be connected right there together. And I would be there to guide your coworkers through the buying, selling, and financing process. Okay, the key to landing lucrative corporate accounts, well, you guys could go out and try this on your own. Your business cards are going to get tattered, thrown away. When you go into businesses with your regular business cards, you're a salesperson though. You're a salesperson. So you need to start asking, because if you don't ask for these opportunities, you're never going to get. But you also have to learn how to ask the right way. By asking the right way is you have to have a system and some training to get you there. So I'll start to mention our program. It's HomeBenefitIQ. If you're going to create your own, this might be what you have to put together. Presentation folders, PowerPoint presentations, human resource manager brochures so the HR manager can understand in a snapshot what your program's going to do for them. Lunchroom posters, payroll inserts, member ID cards, member privilege savings, employee interview sheets, employer acknowledgement sheets. Those are like the contracts you can get the employer to sign that puts you in there and they agree to communication of the program. Scripts and follow-up letters and email templates, we've written them all. A newsletter focused on financial education, a little movie that you could play for the employer that would show them the benefit program. I'll show you that in a minute. proposal templates, and then the websites is a pretty key piece. See, my company has a patent on affinity marketing technology. It's called affinity spawning technology, actually. And our government granted us a patent because we can put together for you template-based, co-branded benefit websites that are designed for each employer that you work with, each neighborhood you work with, each school district you work with, so that the employees feel like they're getting exclusive access to a program that's provided just for them because of where they work. Our company puts that together for you. I'll give you a sample in just a minute. Now, I know we're at the hour mark. Most of you have gotten what you needed to know from me. This is where I'm going to tell you, if you are not interested in investing in yourself, at least at the level you expect your client to invest in you, then this system is not for you. I'll tell you the cost of my program, and some of you have already gone there. I don't hide the cost of our program, and our program is more than a program because we actually coach you. Twice monthly, you would be assigned a one-on-one coach. The cost of that alone is well worth the $350 a month that we charge for the program, $4,200 a year. Now, I'm going to give you a break on it for sitting through my webinar today, and I'll go through that with you as I answer questions here. But also, you're getting everything else. You're getting the ability to launch an infinite number of username, password-protected, co-branded mortgage or real estate benefit websites for all the employers that you want. That in itself is probably worth the $4,200 a year you would pay for our program. You're getting an effective turnkey business plan with all the proposal templates already done for you, with all the emails that would help you connect to the employer, a movie that's put together for you that you can play for an employer that would engage the employer, make the employer feel guilty that if they don't currently offer their employees any form of mortgage or real estate benefits, why would any employer look you in the eye and tell you they didn't want to provide their employee access to ease of home ownership, access to a skilled provider of mortgage services like you, access to a trusted team of advisors like you would bring them with your referral partners? See, our program is completely turnkey, and it's co-branded. So the name of the benefit program is HomeBenefitIQ. I don't care if you work for Umpqua Bank. I do see you on here, Troy. Sid, Call Equity, Leanne, Embrace Home Loans, Madison. My daughter's name is Madison, by the way. Parlay Mortgage, Angie, Southside Bank, Maria, Gem Corp, Dave, Remax, Mike, Guild, Shelby, Summit, right? Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm with Summit Mortgage. We provide the Home Benefit IQ program as a way for your employees to access special rates and fees and program information that they can't access to the general population. Here you go. So if you want to see the movie and what this looks like to an employer, write this web address down. Go there after we're done. Now, my code, because I'm the founder of the program, is HBIQ. That's the acronym for Home Benefit IQ. That's my code. If you were to become our client, you'd be able to email this form to an HR manager. If they go there and view this online movie, because there's a landing page, and they put in your unique code, you would get an email from our server that would say that Shelly Stevens at Valley Hospital just viewed your Home Benefit IQ intro movie. It's only 3.5 minutes long, but see, Shelly, you would get that email, and then you would call Shelly probably the next day. Hey, Shelly, I see that you finally got a chance to look at our Home Benefit IQ program. You know, we here at Century 21 want to provide employers with the best for their employees. Do you currently serve your employees any benefits like this? No. Well, can we put a meeting for 15 minutes on the calendar this Wednesday at 9 a.m.? Or would 1 p.m. work better for you? Keep in mind, our benefit program costs you as the employer no money, and we put together systems to make it easy to administer. I'll cover that with you in our full proposal. Now, see, that's all scripted for you. You guys can do that. But when you have the proposals already put together for you too, so you just drop in your logos and your photos, all the rest of this is written. The Home Benefit IQ program has been around since 2004. It already serves over 3,000 workplaces across America. There's roughly 4 million working Americans who access their mortgage and real estate providers through this portal. See, that shows social proof to the employer. It makes it much easier for you to get the employer to agree. And then you're able to show them screenshots of the benefit website that you set up for them. And at the end of the proposal, your name is in there as the plan director of the benefit program for your bank or your mortgage or your real estate firm. So you're never losing your branding. You're never losing your identity. Then you follow up with the employer. Mr. Employer, we can put lunchroom and break room posters up. We can also do payroll inserts or payroll handouts to announce special things about the program. We can also produce new hire package information. We can do virtual emails and launching this program. Would you forward an email like this out that announces a new wonderful benefit to your employees and reminds them the program's there? We can put intranet banners. See, our company produces all this for you guys. And so when you finish this up with the employer, hey, we can also do physical benefit cards. Now, we produce those for you too. Now, I don't get rich on these materials. We provide these at bulk costs for you. Benefit ID cards, for example, on small orders are about 40 cents a card. But you make a card-carrying member out of a local employee, the first thing they're going to go to when they need to buy, sell, or home is probably that card, which is going to be sandwiched in between their medical insurance and their dental insurance card. Your business cards don't get that. And with our technology, you see, if you made your way on this webinar today, you can use our technology. You don't have to be a techie. We have actually templated everything for you. Our user-friendly online tools have it all laid out for you. In our resource center, we have everything from laying the foundation, setting up your online account, to marketing your program, all laid out for you in a very logical, easy-to-use way. With all of our templates and scripts and scripting all put together for you, letters. We even have a letter that's templated as an email that you could be sending to all your past clients, all your friends, all your family, saying, I'm partaking on a new endeavor this year. Yes, I'm still in mortgage. Yes, I'm still in real estate. But I'm setting up real estate assistance programs now for area employers. Does your company have one? If you were me, who would you go to? Where would you go? All right. So you're probably going to want to see what these benefit websites look like. So after we're done today, if you write down this web address, HomeBenefitIQ.com, see, that's the universal landing page for all the employers that access this site, or all the employees. But don't worry, your clients would never get mixed up with somebody else's. Why? It's because you assign a username and a password to the group in which you're serving. In this sample, I have WidgetCo and WidgetCo as the username and password. That's actually a live sample site that you guys can see after we're done. So write that down, WidgetCo and WidgetCo. It's not case sensitive. There's no spaces in it. Widget, W-I-D-G-E-T-C-O. And then you'll be able to see a template that looks like this. The employer's logo goes inside. There's a custom landing page which we help you write that makes the employee feel welcomed, that makes them feel like they're appreciated, that makes them feel like their employer is looking out for them. There might be some benefits there to the employee. Keep in mind this is a template. So for RESPA guidelines, people are asking that question. What about RESPA? You know, hey, I'll have that conversation with you any day. Some of the largest banks, credit unions in the United States have approved our program. Somebody's on this call that said, Wells Fargo? We have not gotten Wells Fargo to even look at this, Jason. So what I'd probably recommend, Jason, that's on this call, get your Realtor to sign up for this. And then you now become the lender inside of it. Maybe that's what you do. See, you can put on your pages inside of here internally, but you can also put that of your team. You can also put pages into these websites of your other providers, or your services go in there. We call them professional partners inside the site, and there's links to their websites and things like that. So they're getting equal billing. But your brand is on every single page. So let me ask this, where do you begin? Our clients say it best. Here's John Clark. He began with a large employer in his area. I don't know if you can read this, but it says, hello all, it's official. I'm on the Peoria School District Employee Portal. I'm going to next reach out to my contact, Aaron, to discuss a plan to keep this going through the whole year. Thank you all. I know you hear it all the time. I have to say it. You just changed my life, my family's life. You're a blessing. That's John Clark. Remax. 8 reasons you should be doing this, asking businesses, unions, and school districts to become your ultimate referral source this year. Companies will promote you to their employees. That's exponential marketing. That's leverage. It's going to provide you with instant credibility. If the employer signs off on you, you become the trusted advisor for the employees. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they close with you. And employees don't shop you because they revere what their employer offers. And that's going to give you a captive audience of quality prospects by picking the right employers to market to. And that's what you guys need to get a continual instant lead source that regardless of the rate environment, the employees are going to be buying, they're going to be selling homes. I want you to be the first person they think about. It pays to be the first, right? 66% of consumers close with the first agent, the first loan officer that they find. And you'll become a hero with referral partners. You know why? Because you have the power. You have the power to make your referral partner the preferred provider if they're insurance or financial advisors, credit repair, dog groomer, hair salon owner. Yeah, you could put those inside if you wanted to. And then you, maybe with your referral partners, never have to choose to pursue clients, chase clients ever again. The clients actually come to you. The employer's telling them to you. And that's as a bonus. This bonus is that it gives you a corporate book of business, something that you own. Those corporate accounts are yours. It's measurable, it's trackable, it's predictable, it's transferable maybe inside your own company. I don't know. Might be something you address with your boss. But it becomes a highly desirable book of business. Your past client database is worth 0 today because you put all those people in homes and loans at 3 and 4%. They're not going to need a deal. But these new corporate accounts become something that could be potentially sellable. I've coached a lot of loan officers and realtors to that. Believe me, go back into that valuator, see what it could mean, because each year your capture rate is going to get bigger and bigger as long as you maintain good communication to the employer and good communication to the employee, which my company provides a help for you to do that. And that's leverage, folks. And you need it this year more than ever. Here's Ken Price. I work with him in Atlanta, Georgia. Says, Scott Vinson is the person that takes action every day, helping me see the value. What an opportunity he's offering to agents and loan officers to grow their business. Would recommend Scott to all agents and loan officers who want to take their business to the next level. You see, I like Ken because Ken has the qualities of a good business person. He made the decision quickly to come on board. He's about 1 meeting away to landing the city of Atlanta. And their 18,000 full-time employees, 4,000 part-time employees, put that number into that valuator. He was willing to invest in himself, at least at the level. He's expecting his clients to invest in him. If you don't do that, you're breaking the laws of the sales universe, right? If you can't commit to investing in yourself, who's going to invest in you? Good business people also understand the following principle. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. And that's kind of this power of the word leverage. I've mentioned it time and time again. So I reward quick decision makers. For those of you that stayed on this call, I have some special bonuses to the first 10 people. Now, every month I try to fill a class. And I only bring about 50 people into my program monthly because I want to be able to give you, and my team wants to give you, the one-on-one attention that you need to be successful with this right out of the gates of this new year. So for the first 10 people, I have 10 spots left here. We have a guaranteed spot in our upcoming workplace prospecting training webinar series that's going to start on January 25th. I know that seems like a ways away. We have some recordings of that. We have lots of other recordings and trainings that you can get to in our resource center so that on January 25th in that workshop webinar environment, we're going to be teaching you in session 1, 3 days. So on the 25th, we'll be teaching how to present and put together your presentation skills to land employers. On the next day, which is January 26th, we're going to be teaching how to prevent and overcome objections. And then on the 27th, we conclude the initial series of 3 with how to work with unions and nonprofits and membership-based groups. I have one loan officer I work with that landed a group that's 328,000 members. Why? He said he got everything he needed to know out of session 3 of those. You'll also get a private one-on-one. Additional, and this is in addition to the 24 coaching calls you get with one of our assigned coaches, you'll get a 30-minute jumpstart session guaranteed to be led by me. Now, time is one of my most valuable assets. I don't have a ton of it, but I will schedule for the first 10 people 30 minutes of myself to do this with you and get you started. And then the big thing is savings. I know we just came out of the holiday season. Money's always a good thing. I want you to keep some money in your pocket. So I have a discount for you today. Instead of the program being $4,200 a year, for the first 10 people, I'll knock it down to $3,600, which when you look at our payment option here, it is a 1-year commitment, folks, and that's why I published the annual price. But the monthly payment we'll take, we don't look at your credit or anything, we just finance it for you. It brings it down to $300 a month. And if you stayed with us the next year and the next year, we'd grandfather you in to keep that rate for you, even though we continue to update the system and bring new tools and resources for you. But that's only available to the first 10 people. They'll probably sell out by the time we're done answering questions today. It just happens quickly. But I do want you to know this. Our program is worth it at full price. It's worth every penny at full price. It is. So what you get, you'll see it outlined actually on the on our sales site at BenefitIQ.com. You'll see this, what you get. You're going to be assigned a coach twice monthly, 24 sessions within the year. Your coach twice monthly will be with you one-on-one to help you through your questions, to help you get to the next level, to assign you tasks and duties. And is this something that consumes your day? No. There's things that you could be doing 5 minutes a day that would help you land these corporate accounts. So I won't go through this in detail. You guys can see it on our website. But it goes through this. You get initial supply of the presentation materials that you're using when you go out and sign up the employer. There's no hidden costs. There's no hidden fees to this thing, right? It's all within and contained in there. Benefit ID cards might be something that you would pay extra for, but it's not a profit center for me. It's pennies. Lunchroom posters are like $3. We're not making our money to get rich there. You only need a few of those. But most of the stuff is electronic, and it's included in that annual price. So I do highly encourage you to sign up now. Somebody asked, is there a guarantee? There's no guarantee, because the unknown variable is, will you buy this and work it? I don't want this to be one of the things that you purchase and it sits on the credenza and collects dust behind your desk. You've done that too often. But we do give you 10 days to kind of look this over. You can make that decision. But I would say if you have any doubt at all that this isn't for you, don't sign up. My team doesn't want to waste our time on people that don't want to take this business seriously and that don't think that they have what it takes to become a corporate lender or a corporate realtor. If you're ready to join us now, you go to BenefitIQ.com. It's simple. You click the Join Now button that's up at the top right. You review our one-page contract. We keep it simple. We're a keep it simple company. And then you're ready. It'll activate an online account, and you can start building your business one company at a time. So there's a special code for you to do that. It'll ask you for a code or a tracking code. Type in the word NOW, N-O-W, in all caps, and that will give that discount to you. Now, some of you need to ask questions. The webinar format makes it very limiting to be able to ask questions. So here's what I'll do for you. My team, if you send us an email, my team will spend 15 minutes with you in a coaching call. We'll discuss your unique marketplace, because some of you are saying, will this work? My community is totally different. Or it might say, I don't know if it'll fit with my current business model. I'm pretty busy and I don't know where this would fit in. Or there might be somebody on my team I could assign to this. Well, have a conversation with us first. We'll discuss your referral partner relationships and whether we think that they will help you build this program. We'll discuss specific targets in your marketplace that might have written initiatives. Like the hospital might have a written initiative today that their HR manager is supposed to go out and find voluntary benefits that won't cost the hospital any money. We'll show you how to find those. And we'll discuss how it's going to help you make more money in less time. And then bottom line, I'm not here to try to sell you on this as a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that I want to sell you on this because I just want to take your $3,600. No. I'm here because this business has been around for 15 years now. We have over 650 other people using this system successfully. And I would like to add a few more people to this and train them how to do this. That's where I make my money. So if you want to request a coaching session, you can just email me personally. I can't guarantee that I can do your session, but I'll make sure that somebody on my team, and that's used to you to ask some questions. You just send me an email, scott@BenefitIQ.com, and tell me you want an affinity coaching session, and I'll assign one of my team members to schedule that time with you, 15 minutes to discuss whether or not this program will work for you. So I appreciate you guys being here. I know we ran past the hour. If you're ready to not only survive but thrive in a post-election higher rate economy, join us, BenefitIQ.com, and you start building your business, not one consumer at a time, too slow, too tedious, but you start building your business one company at a time, one union at a time, one school district at a time, and your life will change forever. Thanks so much. We'll get the recording out later this afternoon. I'll leave this up and running for just a minute or two. You'll see the 2 downloadable documents that are on the webinar toolbar. Download those. One is the slide deck from today, and the other one is that Valuator Excel spreadsheet that you can save to your desktop. Plug in the numbers for yourself, but do promise me that you'll share it with your spouse, your significant other, your broker, your owner. But beware, they're probably going to say, you should have been setting up corporate accounts since day one. It's true. Thanks so much. My name is Scott Vinson. I really appreciate it presenting to you, and I look forward to helping you in your business. Take care, and my office is standing by. If you have questions right now, you can just call us as well. That number is 888-245-7433. Take care. Happy New Year.